So the XR2s are done. I caught a slash in the rear today. So they have 720 miles on them. This was the front. This was the rear. The rear got a slash. And I'm gonna replace them. They were good. I'm sure they're just kind of generic. I went with the Vittoria Barzo and Mezcal. They'll be here in a couple days, so I'm gonna try them and compare them. So here's the Mezcal. It's in a 2.25, and I'm running that on the rear. This looks to be a very efficient tire, very efficient rolling. The recommendation was run this in the rear, run the Barzo in the front, also in a 2.25. The Barzo's a little more aggressive, quite a bit more aggressive actually. It does have a nice center tread for rolling, but it's gonna do. I've been on these tires probably 6 or 7 rides already, and I wanted to get a good feel of them before I did a review. So I'm on the top fuel, and the purpose of this bike in my eyes is to be a little more efficient. Like if you want something with a little more suspension, you can go with the Fuel EX if you're going to be doing more downhill and stuff, but this has a little less suspension. It's supposed to be a little bit more efficient. Now the way that Trek sells this bike in the showroom is with the XR4 tires on it, and the XR4 tires are real aggressive, fairly big knobs, and I did not want that. I think it's I think it's the wrong tire for the bike. So I had the dealer switch for no cost and put the XR2s on it, which are very smaller knobs, a lot more efficient rolling. And I put 750 miles on those tires and really had no complaint with those tires. They were pretty good. It just, you know, they got so wore out, and then I finally ended up slashing one on one of the trails, and it was done. There was no amount of sealant that was gonna fix the slash. So after doing a lot of research, I was like, I wanted something efficient. These had a good reputation. I guess they're kind of like a race tire. I think I should have put the Mezcal on both ends, because I have noticed that my times have dropped off a little bit. Not a lot, but enough that I can tell. And I think it's because this front Barzo is a little more aggressive than what I really am used to. The one thing I noticed about this Barzo in the front that I kind of don't like right now is that it's square. It's not very rounded. It's kind of squared, and it gives good grip until it doesn't, and then when it doesn't, you're done. It's not like the XR2s were more rounded in their profile, and I felt a little bit more confident on those. I've gotten these slipping, and when they go, they go. It's a little more sketchy than the XR2s, in my opinion anyway. I think because they're square and the knobs are deeper, it's in the soft stuff that they slow you down. They kind of dig in, and there's a little more resistance, which is, usually the trade-off of more grip. But I don't know. I'm not gonna say that the XR2s were bad. I kind of really liked those tires. They did me well for 750 miles. Good morning.
I usually run my bell. I didn't think there's going to be anybody in here. It's about 90 degrees out. It's about 80% humidity. And I mean, it's only early in the morning, but there were no cars in the parking lot. I didn't think I was going to see anybody, but actually on pavement, these roll pretty good because they both have that center profile that's thin, but it's consistent, it's dense in the center. So they actually do pretty well on hard packed pavement stuff. I'll tell you a tire I really like is the Race Kings. I have them on my Scott, and in hindsight I wish I had just gotten instead of them for the way I ride and what I ride. Coming up behind you. Good morning. Yeah, those Race Kings are good tires. They're rounded too, and they're efficient. And when these go, I'll probably be putting a set of Race Kings on here. I think that better matches the personality of this bike. I don't know, in hindsight, if I were to choose again, I'd definitely do Mezcal's front and rear. Like I said, regardless of what I've tried, on a 9-mile loop, I'm about 0.4 miles an hour slower average on these. And maybe they'll get a little faster when they wear in. But and you know, even though, like I said, I've gotten quite a few rides on these tires, I'm still not trusting this front. It slid out on me a couple times already where I know my other tires would have had it. See, I usually take that corner a lot faster. I'm just not, and this is just my opinion, you know, I'm not some pro athlete. I'm just a guy who likes to ride fast, race occasionally, but it's just the grip of these, the feel. Like I said, it's there until it isn't. It's not, it might be a better tire, it might offer more grip, it just doesn't feel as predictable to me when the front's about to go. You know, the other ones, the XR2s, they would slide kind of evenly. This kind of slides until it just goes. Throw my bell back on these blind corners. Rolling 16.4. Oh, nothing's cheap these days, so you have to do your research unless you like wasting money or being disappointed in your purchase. But you know, they're fine. I'll put what I can on these. Hopefully they'll last 700 miles. See how the front starts to go there. It's like, it seems if you were in a berm, they grip really good. But once those outer edges let go, because the tire's not rolled, it doesn't have much of a radius to it. That's what I think makes it so sketchy once it starts to go. I think too, I don't know if there's something to be said about running the same tire front and rear. It seems to me that when the XR2 slid, they both slid together. And maybe that was why it felt more confidence inspiring, because both tires did the same thing when pushed. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a pro. Just my thoughts. Morning. It's a sketchy corner here. In the winter, it's not bad. Summer, you can't see. About 9 miles in. So that's my 2 cents on these tires. Take it for what it is. If you have any questions, leave me a comment. I'll answer them. And thanks for watching.